Greetings, Internet. This is Poser P. I am back. It's been a while since I've done a vast programming tutorial. I've been busy. I've been doing lots of other things, unfortunately, and fortunately, because the other things are fun too. But it's time. What is it time for? Let's find out. Ooh, what is this? That's right, kids. I got a new toy and a new starship. This truly is a starship. This is the Kurzweil Forte. Okay, this is not just a stage piano. If you think that this is a stage piano, it is an excellent stage piano. However, that's like saying a Ferrari is a really great go-kart. Yeah, I think that's the appropriate analogy here. All right. Well, what do we do with a starship like this? Let me show you some fun things. Okay, I've had this for, when did I get this? About 5 days ago. And I've been slowly digging into it. But because the Forte is very much like the PC3 in how a lot of things work, the transition isn't that bad. There are a couple of differences. For instance, if you look at the front panel, which you can't see because it's super dark, I did that so that it's easy to read the screen up here, which I think is more important. You still have an exit button here. You do not have an edit button. That is now button number 1 under favorites, and it becomes the edit button when you are editing a program. Also, if you want to use all of the great stuff in VAST on the Forte, you need to switch your user type. So here's regular, here's advanced. This is what you want, so that you can use all of the features of the Forte. This is good if you need a stage piano. When you need a starship, you go to advanced. Any questions? Didn't think so. Okay, so starship. Let's do some stuff. Well, the Forte has 3.3 gigabytes of user loadable sample memory, which is great. It's been a while since we've had a really good sampling keyboard from Kurzweil, and this does not sample, but it does load samples, and I'm going to load one up right now. So today we're going to play with drum loops, and we're going to be doing that for the next couple of tutorials, next few I think. We'll see how that goes, but we're just going to start with some basic stuff and not so basic stuff all at the same time. That's what I love about VAST. It's simple but mind-blowing in so many different ways. All right, so let's go to storage mode here. Now, over on my computer, which you can't see because it's off screen, I have a file that I recorded earlier. So next room over, I've got drum kits set up, I've mic'd it and everything else, and I've played some, really crappy drums, but that's all right. We're gonna go ahead and hit load. Please copy the file into the virtual drive. So on my desktop pops a little drive. You can't see that. I'm going to pop in my file that I made. This recording of drums. I've already cut it up into the loop I want. It's sort of the least sucky part of the 15-minute session, however long I did. Anyway, so I've loaded the file into the virtual drive. I'm going to hit OK. There it is. Drums _s_1.wave. And it does that tilde thing because it only does a certain number of characters. That's fine. So what you want to do is when you're loading in a sample, you're going to hit fill. And you're going to be taken to this screen, which is crazy. And in the video, it looks even crazier because of aliasing. Now, you thought aliasing was only an audio thing. This shows you the video version pretty well. But anyway, or at least it does when I'm looking at it on my screen right now. Let's scroll over here. So every one of these little squares is an object, okay? Right now, we're looking at samples. So we need to just find a free space to pop our samples. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick, after looking at these little tiny squares, let's pick 1028. And I'm going to hit fill. And it's going to load it into slot 1028 in sample memory. Now, this is The Forte is really cool. It's all flash. There's no RAM. It does everything from flash, okay? This is like the SP404A on steroids, or any of the other number of things that work off of flash these days, but on steroids. I think the Octatrack works off of that. On steroids, okay? I mean serious steroids. You think the Octatrack is cool? Well, you've now got something that's like 10 times cooler and, you know, only like twice as expensive or something like that. All right, so we did this. Let's go ahead and exit. We're going to now go to program 999. Now that has not changed. If you just opened up your Forte and you put it on your stand and you're trying to figure out how in the world do I enter buttons, because when I press number buttons, it jumps all over the place. You hit keypad and the little light will light up, and now you can enter numbers like a normal person, 999, and hit enter, bam, clear program. This is our friend. We're going to go ahead and hit edit here, or you can hit, oh yep, we got to hit edit. Okay, whoops, see, there you go. I just screwed up. So let's go 999 again, 999. What I did was I hit the favorites 1 button, but we weren't in edit mode. When you do that, it goes to your favorites. You got 10 of them, and you can jump to them at any time, as you just saw. So you have to use this soft button here in order to get into it. Once you're in here, though, now you can do all the fun things. Speaking of which, let's go to our Keymap page. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to pick a new Keymap or make a new Keymap out of the sample I just loaded. So we'll go ahead and do that. And again, 999 is always the magic number. And we hit enter. There is an enter button next to the keypad button underneath the category buttons. Silence. Yes, it is truly silent. So let's go ahead and edit this guy. We'll hit 1. All right. And I'm going to hit, now it's picked silence C4. This is an actual sample, which I think is interesting, and that's kind of cool. All right, here we go. We're going to pick 1028, the thing I just loaded. And let's see what we got. There's my awesome drum loop. Here, let me turn this up a little bit. Whoa, okay, let me turn it down a little bit. Oh yeah, all I'm doing is I'm just, all right, I need an MC. Look at all the fun you have. And we aren't even in a program yet. We're just loading the sample. All right, enough of that stupid stuff. Let's actually do something here. Okay, so when you go to the sample, you can actually edit the sample. So we're in the Keymap editor. This gives us our key range. This gives us our velocity range. We've got our coarse tune, fine tune, master transpose, all of that good stuff. I want to edit the sample. All right, so I can set a root key here, which will determine where, when the sample's playing back naturally, where it lands on the keyboard. So right now it's going to land at C4, so that would be, let's see here. So that's what it sounds like. That was the original tempo I recorded it at. All right, so there's a couple things here that we want to do in order to get this thing to loop. First thing we got to do is we got to change the loop point. So the loop point right now is set to the same as the end of the sample. So we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to go 1, 2, skip a few, hit a 0, hit enter. Actually, I'm going to put it at like 2. Why not? Now, normally speaking, when people load samples, they do this sort of thing, you know. Wow. Super slow. Whoa. Super duper slow. I want to show you a way to use the keyboard and some of the fun things in VAST to, let's just be a little bit different than what people usually do with samples. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to turn loop to on. There we go. Now I got looping playback. So now our drum and bass can go on. Now, one thing that you'll notice if you load up a sample like this, depending on the sample rate, and I used 44.1, that will determine how high you can go on the keyboard. So you can go down all the way to, noise, or atmospheric stuff. There's your 9-inch nails down there at that end of the keyboard. Or you can go up. But when you go up, you can actually only go up so far. So here's C4, here's C5, here's D5, E5. So I believe D5 is the last note that you can transpose up to, because what Kurzweil does is when you, or what VAST does is it will play up to 96 kilohertz. So depending on how far you want the sample to stretch, that'll determine the sample rate you want. So if you want the disc to go across the whole keyboard, you might pick something like 11 hertz or 11 kilohertz as your sample rate, because then you could stretch it further. Okay, so with 44.1, I can go up about an octave above the root note, and that's the space I have. If I cut that in half to 22, then I should be able to go up 2 octaves. If I cut that in half to 11, then I should be able to go up 3 octaves. If I cut that in half to 6.5, then I can go up 4 octaves, and so on. All right, so the Forte does not do sample rate conversion on board, but you can load in samples of all sorts of different sample rates. You're not limited. It'll load a wave file. You just record your wave. You put it at the sample rate you want. You throw it in here. None of this business with having to go through a conversion utility or any of that stuff. You just put it in and you start playing with it. I haven't tried any other kinds of files yet. We'll just stick to waves for now. All right. So, oh yeah, we're being different. So one of the first things I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to Alt Start Sample. So what VAST allows you to do is set an Alt Start point. So you have your start point, which is at 0, but you can also set an Alt Start point. Okay, now in other videos that I've done, I've shown you how to manipulate this for fun and profit in VAST. What we're going to do is we're going to set this to, let's see, 227 360. All right. Now that we've got this set up, so I've got my alt start point, I've got my loop switch, and you'll see why I do this alt start thing here in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and hit save and save. Now, sometimes when I do this, the sample glitches out when I then go try to, see, look, so it didn't actually save my alt start point right. So let's go 2. So this is one of the bugs that I found. 360. Enter. Save. And let's go ahead and save this as a new sample. Save. Maybe this will do it. Well, all right. So it throws the alt start point all the way at the end. Let's see if we're glitching out. Nope, we're not. Okay, good. So everything's clever. I'll show you an example at the end of this video of what it sounds like when it starts glitching out, which can actually be fun. I'm not saying, there's nothing wrong with a little glitchiness here and there. Just understand that for now, you have to finagle it a little bit sometimes in order to get everything to work. And it's just, again, when you have a starship, it's really complicated. You only have a certain number of people who can work on the OS at any one particular time. So, cut these guys some slack, because they release products all the time, and there's all sorts of stuff that these guys are working on. It's just crazy. So, it would be nice if they devoted all their time to the Forte and to the things I want, but that's not what they do. They do an awesome job doing way more stuff than I could possibly ever do in a day. All right, we've got our sample. We've loaded it up. Let's go ahead and go on back here. Now, at this point, I'm going to save the key map. And then I'm going to save this to 1026. I'm going to rename it. And we're going to call this Science. Science. Write that. Okay? A little slice of science. Science. I like it. All right. Hit OK. Actually, I'm going to call it Silence because I think I have another Silence in here. We'll call it Silence 5. Okay. Save that bad boy. Okay, cool. Now we are done with Keymap and with the sample. That didn't take long. I've been talking a lot about a lot of stupid stuff that doesn't matter. Let's get to the things that do. This is why we set the alt start point. We're now going to make this continuous. And we now have, one other thing I'm going to do. I'm going to turn off all pitch tracking. So I don't have any more pitch tracking. What? You don't have pitch tracking on a sample? Why? This is why. Okay, let's see. I think I want something like 115. Let's try that. No, it's not 115. It's a little bit beyond that. All right, let's pick something fun. Oh, here we go. Keynap. So with alt method at continuous and alt control at keynum, the key I am playing will determine where I start the sample. For instance, let's hit, I don't know, let's see here. We got, there's C4. Let's go down to C3. Let's go down to C2. Let's go down to C1. I think you get the idea. But now I can pick where I want my sample to start just based on which key I play. So if I play, what is this? There's a good hit. So I can start hunting and pecking. And I think, yeah, there's a kick. And then you can start doing fun things like, so since the sample's going to start in different places depending on which key I press, let's see what happens when we do something like, I don't know, let's try this. So I can rhythmically now switch things up just by picking which key I play. Oh, there we go. I like that. And then I can throw in, other parts and play along, or I can do wipes across the keyboard, and it sounds like this. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do something. That's not going to sound really good until, or better. I don't know that any of this is going to sound really good, but that will sound better when I go over here to DSP mod, or DSP control, I'm sorry. And let's go down here to the level. One thing I forgot to do, let's set this to 0 because we just want our samples to be loud all the time. Let's make sure we don't. Okay, there we go. So I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to blow out my stupid little speaker over here. Okay, here we go. Let's do that wipe again. So if you wipe fast, you can essentially play the loop. Let's play it backwards. And you get the picture. I mean, you can do all sorts of stuff with this. Well, where's John Bonham? There he is. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, John Bonham. Up in the sky. My apologies. My drumming sucks. You are the drum god, one of many in the pantheon. All right, kids, so that's all I've got for today. It's really simple stuff, but really powerful too, all at the same time. Next time, we're going to get into some fun things to do with the built-in arpeggiator and loops. So you've seen how we've been able to part out our sample really quick over the keys and then find keys that correspond to different hits in the sample, you know, just by playing. Well, then you can use the arpeggiator to remix your sample. And we'll have a little more fun with that than just that, because that's just the barest tip of the iceberg in terms of what we can do here. I mean, we haven't even done anything in Vast yet. Nothing. It's just loading a sample and playing it. And we're already into fun territory. Well, it gets a lot more interesting from here, kids. Hang on for the ride, and I hope you stick around for the next video, because it's going to be fun. All right, thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.